In plants and animals, similar cells are grouped together to form tissues. The human body is made up of many different kinds of tissue. Groups of bone cells, for example, form bone tissue. And muscle cells form muscle tissue. The different types of cells that make up the tissues of the human body have distinctive architectures that are well suited for what they do. Take the cells that form the epidermis, the thin outer part of skin. The epidermis consists of several layers of cells that fit closely together. They provide an effective barrier against bacteria and other things that could cause harm if they got inside the body. The top layer consists of dead cells that are constantly being rubbed off and replaced by cells from below.
The muscles attached to the skeleton have cells that look very unlike skin cells. Muscle cells are very long and fiber-like. Each cell contains many fine threads called myofibrils. Myofibrils, in turn, contain two types of even smaller filaments called actin and myosin. A closer look at the actin and myosin shows how they can slide over each other, making it possible for a muscle cell to contract and expand. Thousands of muscle cells contract and expand together, making it possible to move an arm or leg. Bone cells serve a different function. Bone cells secrete calcium and other materials that harden and form the body's bones.
When we think or try to solve a problem, we're using other kinds of cells. Nerve cells, which are also called neurons. There are billions of neurons in the brain alone, and these can communicate with other nerve cells that branch throughout the body, forming the body's nervous system. The architecture of nerve cells varies according to what function they serve, but all have the same basic design. Each consists of a single cell body which contains the cell's nucleus. Branching out from the cell body are fibers of different lengths called dendrites. There is also a single long fiber called the axon. In some cells, the axon is very long, up to 3 feet. Signals race from the dendrite of one cell through the cell body and along the axon. At the end of the axon, the signal is picked up by the dendrite of another nerve cell. Together, the billions of nerve cells in the body form an intricate communications network that makes possible our thoughts and senses. Ow!
A drop of blood tells another story about cells. The blood that flows through the veins and arteries of the body's circulatory system contains different kinds of cells that perform jobs vital to our existence. Red blood cells are the most numerous. They look a little like donuts with their centers filled in. Red blood cells carry oxygen from the lungs to other cells throughout the body. There are about 25 trillion red blood cells in the body of an adult. Each has a lifespan of only about 125 days, so new ones are constantly being produced at the rate of about 2 million a second. Blood also contains white blood cells. Although much fewer in number, white blood cells are important defenders of the body against invaders like disease-causing bacteria. Some white blood cells can actually engulf bacteria and other harmful things, making them harmless by eating them.